on Curiosity Stream. He allows them their riches.
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
In exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimate.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy. An obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Hello, welcome to season 17, episode number 3662. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my car, Montgomery, Men's Room. Watch out today, the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This. Plus headlines, Men's Room Shot of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Clack.
All right, here we go. Turns out that Egypt Air flight that crashed back in 2016 went down because of a nicotine fit. Meanwhile, in an Iowa courtroom, the Easter Bunny, Mickey Mouse, and Donald Duck all say we must acquit. Woman is stranded in forest for 6 days is forced to eat yogurt to survive. Dollar Tree employee quits because her boyfriend couldn't stand beside her 9 to 5. And a town in Japan sent all of its COVID money to one guy who should be out of town right now. And that is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, sit down for this. James Bond was arrested after threatening to shoot police officers. Not that James Bond, but some random dude whose name is James Bond. Elton John. He was driving a Lamborghini in Virginia. He got arrested for a DUI. Not that Elton John, just another random dude. Michael Jackson. You think he's dead? Guess what? He's been on the run from authorities after fleeing with his 7-year-old daughter. Obviously not that Michael Jackson, but another still living Michael Jackson. And in Tennessee, Peyton Manning was arrested after cops found illegal drugs in the car that they were driving. Now, we're not talking about the Hall of Fame quarterback. We're talking about an 18-year-old girl. And in Georgia, a man named Speedy Gonzalez, swear to God, he was arrested for mail fraud. And earlier this week, we told you about the world's oldest living dog. The dog's name is Toby Keith. And just yesterday, some good news. Kurt Russell named High School Teacher of the Year. And as you probably guessed, not that Kurt Russell. Now, we can go on, and we will. But first, we decided we're going to steal a question posed by comedian Jesse McLaren. This is what we want to know. Who or what is it that ruined your name?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Hold on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, Charles, away we go. Welcome to season 17, episode number 3662. What a large and in charge program we have for you today.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed future repeat, the exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Steve, every week, I don't know how you do it. You find 3 terrible stories in the news of people doing awful things.
Which rarely happens. Most news is great.
You bring them to us, and then we have to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. How are we looking this week?
This is, it's really not that bad. It's just people being a-holes, but it's not nearly the worst Who Sucks Less we've done.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know if you'd be mad at any of these people. You just shake your head and say, what's wrong?
That's right. Who Sucks Less on the way. Also on the way, we'll do the Men's Room Happy Hour for you today. Coming up exclusively on the Odyssey app. If you don't have the Odyssey app, download it now. It's absolutely free. And then you want to search for the Men's Room Happy Hour channel. From there, that channel goes live Monday through Friday at 6. And you get more Men's Room with all the same rules that apply to the FCC airwaves here at KISW or any other radio station. So the language is a little bit different and the topics are a little bit different too. So if you have a little bit of time there, join us for the Men's Room Happy Hour coming up at 6 o'clock. And today we're going to figure out what it is that's in a name. We've all been named for something. Let's start with you, Ted. I want to say Ted Kennedy had a large part to do with your name.
Yeah, he's just the most famous. That's why we always use it. But
there's not really. I mean, there's Ted Bundy.
Probably not named after Ted Bundy, I'm guessing.
But I mean, that was a little bit before your time, as far as you have TED Talks.
Right. Like Ted, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like Ted was just a common nickname for Edward.
Right.
Somewhere over the years, it's kind of gone away. So Ted Kennedy's just the easiest one to kind of reference point.
For sure.
But it wasn't like we like the Kennedys, but I don't think it was like, we want a Ted.
Well, when there's a movie that comes out, it's Ted.
Yeah,
you hope it's a funny movie. You hope it's a good movie.
You do.
You hope it's not, something that absolutely
like
is,
Carrie, right?
Exactly.
You don't want to be Carrie, or Christine.
And if you are like me, then you have had every song with Miles in it sung to you various times by various different people. It just depends. There's a song by The Who, I Can See for Miles and Miles.
Yeah.
I've heard that one
I
before.
Will Walk.
500 miles. I've heard that a million times. I mean, it just depends on what people pick up on your name.
Sure.
Look, when you're 13 years old and your name is Jack, okay, there's a window of time there, when we're all kind of figuring stuff out where, your name takes on a different meaning and people call you something different. As you get to be an adult, that probably goes away for the most part.
It depends.
But there's also Jill.
Depends on your friends.
Yeah, there's Jack and Jill. There's all these different things that are associates, that can be associated with your name. Steve, I know for a fact that you found out at one point in time, there was a receiver named Stephen Hill.
The Jets drafted him, yeah.
Number one draft pick, if I'm not mistaken. But you found out at one point in time that there's somebody who did something very bad at Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany. And from whatever they did, you were stopped at a different base, Joint Base Lewis McChord, I believe.
Yeah, my friend from out of town, she was living here for a little while. She worked for the Department of Defense. We are driving her back to the base. Keep in mind, I have no idea that someone with my exact name, right, and I believe that includes a middle name, had done something terrible, which they would not tell me, at Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany. Okay, so we drive to drop her off, and you got to show your ID. And as soon as we show the ID, these guys have their guns out, and they tell them, pull the car over there. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, man, but this isn't good. And they're gone for like 10, 15 minutes. They're doing whatever they're doing, but they have like 3 dudes that are just staring down the car to make sure I don't get out and try to run away. No idea what's going on. Guy comes back. Have you ever been to Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany? I'm like, no, man, what are you talking about? And he's like, someone with your exact name did whatever it is they did, but it was real bad at the Ramstein Air Force Base. So I guess this person is not allowed on any military property. They would not tell me what he did, but I was like, God damn, man, that's good to know. Just because, should I have to go to a military base for anything, I mean, if it's the beer or something like that, I can let them know in advance. I'm not the droid you're looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm not that guy. And to this day, I don't know what he did. I'd really like to know.
Mike Hawk, thank God there's nothing about your name that anyone can
Not even a little bit.
I can't.
I didn't get that at all.
You got lucky.
I did. I was very fortunate in my earlier years.
They named you correctly.
They did.
I believe.
So much fun.
Yeah, and so at least you have that going for you.
Right. I was told a lot when I was a kid, rather asked if I went to Michael's all the time because it was just my store.
Is that where they go to?
All right.
Yeah, which nothing against the store Michael's. That's not my store.
Right.
I want.
You're not a Michael's guy.
I don't do much over there. So
Sure.
then Michael
Like the
Jackson was
bead
big
store?
and Michael Jordan was big. What now?
The bead store, right?
Yeah, it's like crafts and all that kind of
whatnot,
stuff.
yeah. They
Well,
got
Michaels, for the
fabrics.
most part, you can pick out some good Michaels.
Oh, sure.
Michael Jordan is
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
So it's not the worst in the.
No.
Michael Jackson, depending on what side of the fence you're on. Sure.
Right.
Early Michael Jackson, cool Michael Jackson, later
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, questionable Michael Jackson.
I grew up in questionable Michael Jackson.
Look at you.
He's always questionable.
There was a kid growing up.
Hey,
named,
Mike, you ever blow bubbles?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He was quiet. His name was Mickey. And there was a song that was like, oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. And man, for like, this song was pretty popular. It was all over MTV. It was
It's a terrible song.
Yeah.
We played it recently.
And we was just like, when he clap and come in or whatever, and he's just like, stop, man, stop. He hated that song.
Of course he did.
He hated it, because Mickey, it's a pretty cool name because everyone likes Mickey Mouse.
Sure. It's a positive connotation when you say Mickey.
And there's not a lot of Mickeys out there.
You got Mick Jagger.
Mickey Rourke,
Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Rooney.
The Mickeys that you know are powerful and big time guys.
Own empires.
This song was just absolutely, and it was annoying.
As you say, the song, if you have a name that's like a popular song, that's the worst.
Think about every Roxanne out there.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you call, we've had a Roxanne that's called the show, and we sing it to her, and she's like, God damn it, I know. I hear it every time.
Roseanne.
Right. That's my point, is that if you have a name that's like popularized in a song, it's constant.
Beth. Like Kiss.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to sing the song to you. Brandy.
Brandy's a big one.
You're a fine. And I know every Brandy out there, and you shouldn't do that because all Brandies are hot, and all you're doing is pissing them off.
But you can't not
wait
do
for
that.
it. Don't do that. But they hate it. And that was a one-hit wonder song, but that's what people know when they hear that. I don't care if you're 12 years old. Somehow you know that song.
Well, it's like, what, Gloria? Was that Toto?
There was a bunch of different Glorias. There was Gloria by them, Van Morrison, Gloria by Gloria Gaynor, maybe?
Right, because there's
Gloria Gaynor sang a song called Gloria.
I'm pretty sure.
That's the one I'm thinking. Why do so many people have a song called Gloria? Now, listen, if your name's Gloria, do not take this wrong. My opinion means nothing. I hate that name, right? It's just not a name I like. So it blows my mind that so many people
And even
put
then,
out.
I feel like you don't get a whole lot of Glorias.
You don't. But even Beth's not a sexy name. I'm sorry, man. Now, to be fair, the first Beth I met in life, just
not a good person.
No, we got along, but looking at her sucked. You know what I mean? So no. Just when I hear the name Beth, so I don't know the nice way to put it. That's what pops into my head. So I just assume you're ugly. You might be drop dead gorgeous, right? But like that particular Beth, and we're old enough that the song Beth from Kiss was huge at the time. You wouldn't sing that to her.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, she was that.
Well, there was a girl growing up, I told you, she changed her name from Paige to Beth, which was a weird thing because I was like 13, 14 years old. So I find this to be unacceptable. It's like the nickname thing. Like, you can't just, it's like a Kanye thing to do. Don't call me that anymore. Call me this. You know, but he's Kanye.
Why does she flip from Beth? Like, turn the page?
Yeah. Man, because Bob Seger was pretty big back then in West Virginia.
You thinking it was singing to her when they're having sex?
Turn the page. Stop it. Especially when she turned the page on a post. You know what I mean? It was bad. People probably hated a lot of my friends, not me.
Well, that's what's funny is you started with people always any song with Miles, but if anybody calls with a name in a song, you're the one that always sings it.
Oh yeah, well, it's because it's been done to me. I mean, forever. So,
but you can't not.
But if there's affiliation to something,
how many times has Annie been asked if she's okay?
Oh my God! Exactly. Actually, we have an article here. It's pretty interesting. It's from Vice. And it says, celebrities dominate the news, but spare a thought for the poor souls who happen to share a name. Mm-hmm. Well, some of these. One of the worst guys that we know in this instance, and Steve brought it up earlier, there's a guy named Jerry Sandusky. And he is a sports reporter, has been for probably 25 years at WPXI.
WBAL, I believe.
Channel 11, whatever it is.
Whatever it was.
In Baltimore.
Yeah. He's a big sports reporter, covers the Ravens, covers the Orioles. Well, the Jerry Sandusky that most people know is the guy who did the awful things to
the child molester
at Penn State University,
right?
And is now in jail for it. So that guy's still. But if you look at Jerry Sandusky, anything that he has on social media, I guarantee you, if you go there right now,
I'm not
Twitter,
the one you're looking for, right?
That's exactly what it's going to say. So if you look up Jerry, and I think he spells his name with a G, if I'm not mistaken. But that's the first.
And there's a John Jones guy too. Because John Jones always gets in trouble. And I don't even know this guy. He's a reporter or something somewhere. I'm pretty sure he's verified, but he has a blue check mark. So people, whenever like John Jones gets arrested or gets in a domestic, like he'll just be like, what did the idiot do again?
And he did it not too long ago.
Yeah.
I am Jerry with a G, Baltimore sportscaster, voice of the Ravens, communications coach, author, speaker. No relation to the former Penn State coach.
It's an important detail.
It really
because when that stuff, he said he was getting death threats, and he's like, by the way, somebody here says, my name is Jared. We don't have to explain why his name went down the
flames. But is it that's Jared the jeweler, or is it Subway
You
Jared?
might get the song, but it's Subway Jared, man. Because that's what he's pointing out. It says, like the Subway guy. And I have to respond, yes, except I'm not a freaking pedophile.
All right. Let's start with Taylor Swift. And from the Vice article, we stay right here in Seattle for a 31-year-old man at the time of this article named Taylor Swift. He said in September 2009, everything changed. Kanye got on stage at the MTV Music Awards and took the mic from the other Taylor Swift. From that point on, I was flooded with support letters. It was sweet, but foreboding. That's when I knew it wasn't going to stop anytime soon. I got between 5 to 10 emails every week intended for the other Taylor Swift. There's a folder they go into because honestly, at that point, it's pretty much commonplace, and I don't think much about it. Nearly all of them are something like, OMG, you're so pretty, and I love you. Anytime I have to show my ID, I get attention. Airports, getting a drink, picking up tickets, paying with a credit card, the bank. It always elicits some type of response. Imagine hearing the same joke every time someone learns your first and last name. Also, by the way, someone who is pursuing a presence online for my net building business, having a name like Taylor Swift buries you way, way too deep in Google searches.
Of course.
So you're going to be pretty hard to find in that instance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we have the story of 36-year-old Jennifer Lawrence. Recently, I was going through security in the Palm Springs airport, and the TSA official looked at me. I don't even look anywhere near the actress. I turned bright red. He said, I can't wait to go home and tell my friends I just met Jennifer Lawrence. I smiled and told him it was my pleasure to make his day. I'm pretty sure he never realized I'm not her. But on Twitter and Instagram, I've had people DM me asking me if I could come to their event and make an appearance. If it's a cool event, I'll always say yes. I get comments every single day about my name, every single day. I've been doing some online dating lately, and I don't go out on a second date with people who comment on my name on the first date. There was this one guy who told me he needed to keep dating me so he could tell everyone that he was dating Jennifer Lawrence. I never went out with him again. And one more.
Don't tell her that.
Sinead O'Connor, who's 28 and lives in London. Tried to order a pizza. They kept putting the phone down on me because they thought I was pranking them. Most people I meet for the first time think the first person to ever tell me that nothing compares to me.
Oh, Lord.
There's nothing worse than having your name called out in the waiting room and everyone turns around to see where the bald Irish singer is, and they're all just so disappointing. And I'll give you one more from Jamie Oliver, who is a female Jamie Oliver.
Not the cook?
I work as a blogger and chased one company for weeks for payment. Turns out they had paid the Jamie Oliver my money months ago.
Oh.
Having worked with him on other campaigns previously. I pre-booked a taxi driver in London who also refused to let me in his cab as he was booked for Jamie Oliver. He just kept inching the car forward every time I went to get in. It took a phone call to the office before he would let me. Oh, I bet you wish you had his bank balance, they would ask. My social media accounts are constantly tagged by disgruntled people wanting to either complain or congratulate on the latest recipe or news. Every delivery driver commented, man, they thought they were delivering to the Jamie Oliver.
So they're disappointed to meet you.
And every conversation with someone that doesn't know me starts with the same, I bet you just wish you had his bank balance, don't you? I once called a restaurant to make a reservation for Christmas Day dinner. I could tell the person on the phone thought I was the Jamie Oliver. She sounded giddy and told me she was so excited that I had chosen their restaurant to eat on, of all days, Christmas Day. I had to burst her bubble and tell her I wasn't the Jamie Oliver. And that's when she hung up on me.
Oh, damn.
Wow. Our question, who or what was it that ruined your name? 206-421-ROCK.
That seems a little aggressive out of
Right. Oh, you're not the real one. Click. I do like this one comment just because he went to all caps toward the end. It says, I've been getting Jake from State Farm since the first goddamn football commercial. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, his name's Jake.
Yeah. Now, see, a sports joke like that I'm guilty of.
You can't not, man. If your name serves it up, it's like, we're going to go ahead and take that swing.
Well, even Jake Fromm, who was a quarterback at Georgia, I don't know if he's still in the NFL. He's probably a backup somewhere. But I'm pretty sure at one point in college, he just changed his to Jake from State Farm.
Really?
Yeah, or like just, you know, you can like change your name, not your actual handle. It's like, yeah, I'm Jake from State Farm.
Just make it easier. Hello, Joe. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola!
What's going on, fellas?
Oh, just doing a radio show, Joe. What are you doing?
I'm driving home.
All right.
Was there a reason you called?
Yeah, my name is Joe Green.
Oh, like me, Joe Green. That's getting a little old, though. I mean, most people don't know who Mean Joe Green is anymore, so hopefully it's getting easier for you, right?
Not as much as you would think.
How old are you?
42.
Yeah, so you're my age, so some of your friends, right, they're still going to make that joke.
You can't look, man. It could be worse. Like, at least he's respected. You know what I mean? He was a good player.
He's also known for the Coke commercial where he's drinking a Coke and he throws kid the jersey, so you can always make some type of move.
Because the kid gives him a Coke and he's like, "Here's the jersey." So how many times do people offer you a Coke?
Many times.
Well, do you even order Coke? I mean, are you just like, man, just give me Pepsi. I don't feel like going through
Do you know how much you missed a good time in the bathroom because they thought they were joking to you?
Right. Well, the funniest one was when I met Chuck Yeager when I was a kid. He asked me, he said, "Hey, Joe, got gum?" And I had no idea that was like a big deal with Chuck Yeager. So, yeah.
So Joe Green.
Okay. Yeah, he was part of that steel curtain defense on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He was legit, man.
Yeah, him and Lee Greenwood had a Jack Ham.
I mean, even if you're too young, like you've seen that Coca-Cola commercial.
They show it like every year when they do like the greatest commercials ever. That commercial always
right, shows it. Like I don't know if it was my dad, one of my uncles, somebody would always be like, "You don't understand how mean he was."
His nickname's Mean. I think that when your nickname is Mean, that tells me I got an idea of how mean he was.
I think they were a better team at the time than the Raiders, but I think the Raiders' defense was a lot meaner than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers were maybe better skilled. Raiders at the time with Otis Sistrunk and Jack Tatum and all those guys.
They'd like punch you in the face.
They kill you.
Your face, man.
They kill you.
Like during the play.
I will say that, like having a last name like Smith, I just did this last week. Was renting a car. The guy's like, "Your last name's Smith." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I'm a Johnson." We were like, "All right, number 1 and number 2.
It's funny how you
Actually, Martinez is number 1 now.
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah.
They took over Smith?
They took over everybody.
Dang.
You're disappointed.
You're out.
Yeah, because my buddy last name is Johnson, and we're always like, number 1 and number 2.
No, number 2 and number 3, man.
2 and 3, huh?
Yep.
That was a good run. Well, I mean, also as a kid, it's fun because like I still do it to this day. If any new player pops up in the NFL or whatever, and their last name is Smith, like we're like, "Oh, Smith doing work." We did it with the Masters. There was an Australian guy whose name was something letter C Smith. It's my brother's Chris Smith. So all weekend we were like, "Come on, Chris, finish the tournament."
My son is disappointed. And he means this. And he keeps trying to find a relation to Tyreek Hill because he loves Tyreek Hill. And I'm like, dude, he's not in our guy. He's black. His last name's Hill. That's it. He wants to be related to Tyreek Hill.
Your son has a better chance. Like when I was a kid and we were Washington fans, Timmy Smith was the running back, who is black.
Right.
But we were like, I have a cousin named Timmy Smith. At least your son's a little bit closer than we were.
He's got a fighting chance.
Who or what was it that ruined your good name? 206-421-ROCK.
KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Sad news to report. Stephen Hill, the porn actor suspected of killing a colleague with a sword, has died after jumping from a rocky hillside.
Oh, no!
During a standoff with police. SWAT officers say they spent part of the afternoon on Saturday trying to talk 34-year-old Steve Hill down from the hill as he clutched that sword. They hit him with a less than lethal munition shot, but he'd already positioned himself on the edge of an outcropping of a seated position, then let himself drop as police closed in on him. They say the actor fell some 40 feet. Hill fled the neighborhood hillside after leaving a home where he barricaded himself for most of Saturday. It's unknown whether the sword was the murder weapon during the attack, but either way, he did leave 2 people injured during a shoot for Ultima DVD production.
I remember when that happened. Yes. I was like, your name is Stephen Hill. Fantastic.
Who or what was it that ruined your name? 206-421-ROCK.
A couple of quick comments here. I'll start with this one. I hope desperately this is not a black dude, okay? Just track with me. It's not a person who ruined my name, but my last name is Nig. So I'm sure you can imagine all the names that came along with that. Obviously, you know what, man? That's not even my name. I've been called that.
Is that Vietnamese?
I don't know. NIGG says also when calling Comcast, a representative had to get a manager to override my name because the system would not allow racial slurs.
Oh, no. If you want to get a personalized license plate,
man, don't do it.
With your name on it?
Don't do it. I know it's your name.
You got to tint your windows real dark.
How uncomfortable is it?
Never get out
when you say your name. Anywhere you go, man. You don't
Table
think
for
about
4
this.
for Mr.
you go to a restaurant, right? Right, you got a 4-top, and I mean, if they yell,
family?
Yeah. the Nig family of 4. No. I mean, like,
you guys, I've heard people shorten the bad word to just that. I'm scared to say it now. It's his last name.
If you're paged at the store, we're looking for Mr. Nig. You know what I mean? Just everywhere you go, man.
God. What if you're a cop?
What if you're late for a plane?
But Officer Nig?
It just says it right there on your nameplate.
Jesus Christ.
Right, like anything you got to have a nameplate on. I'm just like, oh, that's got to be bad.
Oh, man. That is, I mean, think about it. And look, I'm going to level with you, man. It's an unfortunate last name. But say I'm working TSA or whatever, and you throw up your passport. Like, I'm going to stare you down for a minute because I'm not sure if you're telling me the truth.
Well, that's so official, though, that would be the one time you would get a pass.
Still, I'm telling you. No, you wouldn't.
I mean, if
change your name, homie.
If you're signing a clipboard to get some legalization thing passed, you know, when you walk by one of those kids and they look down and be like, this is not legit.
And there's no way. Applying for a job, I'd be like, come on, man.
At a KFC. Get the hell
feel
out
bad for it. And then someone here says, I'm half Asian. I'm half Caucasian. I ask you not. My name is Leroy Jenkins.
Nice.
Actually, though, I don't know if I'd mind that one as much.
Yeah, but everywhere you go.
Because it makes you laugh. If you know what that is, it's still funny.
But everyone does it to you all the time.
Everyone does it. And you got to remember, think a bar. You know, I don't know, Saturday afternoon, there's one drunk guy there that just won't let it go.
He will not stop. Again, you're at the restaurant. We have a table ready for Leroy Jenkins. Every time they say your name. I take that over to the Nig family.
Who or what was it that ruined your name? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Joe. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, guys. So my friend of mine was going to hook me up with a date with his cousin, and apparently she Google searched my name, and it came up that someone with the exact same name as me is a sex offender in Iowa, and the dude kind of looks like me.
Oh, no.
If I had a beard and longer hair, he looks like me. And, yeah, it turned out pretty awkward.
So does that mean that did you have to talk her into it, or did she just flat out say no?
Yeah, we ended up going on a date. But I also have some other things on the Google search that are things that I did, like some criminal activity.
Okay. No wonder she thought that had a possibility of being you.
Yeah, so she thought the sex offender was me, too.
Mm-hmm. Whatever else you did, that's better.
You know what you should have.
Exactly. No matter what else you have up there, it's better than that.
But it'd be great if you'd have showed up in like an Iowa Hawkeye shirt. still try to talk your way out of it. to see how good your game is.
Right. It's not me, man. I'm telling you.
Slipknot hat, you know.
Right. Man, that sucks. But he's like, there's also some stuff about me that is me.
Yeah, right. If you Google me, but you're right.
Compared
to sex offender,
even murderer.
Maybe it wasn't that.
Yeah.
It could have just been, even if you take that out of the equation.
Right.
But you still got the date.
Still got the date.
Okay.
She was desperate.
Who or what was it that ruined your name? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Brandy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, I love you guys.
Oh, thank you. Hello, Brandy.
So obviously my name is Brandy, and my whole life that freaking song by Looking Glass. Yep, that's the one.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So
Turn on the mic.
I'm only 25.
Hold on, just give us a second, okay? Hold on, Brandy, just give us a second. You've never heard this.
Oh.
Okay, Brandy, go ahead.
So you said, how old are you?
So I'm only 25, and growing up, I wasn't super familiar with that song, but I knew about it, and it's guaranteed if there's a man over the age of 50 that learns about my name, he's going to go, oh, you know that song by Looking Glass? Brandy, you're a fine girl.
Hey, first of all,
like you would be.
Good call, Brandy. Hey, Brandy.
I'm over 50, but my voice sounds nothing like that.
Brandy, are you an I or a Y, Brandy?
I am a Y, and that's actually something I really like about my name, because if someone can't remember my name, I'll say, oh, it's with a Y, like the alcohol, and then they remember my name.
I like I with a heart for the dot. That's my kind of Brandy.
I like Brandy with Y's.
Mike
like
guessed and went I.
I go
really?
I. Yeah, because I is going to be more, you know.
I disagree. I think Brandy's with the Y is going to be more attractive.
Well, guess what, Brandy? Ted appreciates you, Miles doesn't. That's what we've learned.
No, this is it. It's like,
right. I'll badly hit on you. Miles will just keep singing the song.
Right, Brandy, here's the bottom line. Ted has a Sarah theory, an A or an H, right?
Correct.
As far as the person. It's not that I don't think all Brandies are pretty. I do. I just think the ones with an I are easier.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, I didn't say Brandy's not easy.
Right,
No,
you just said you liked it with the
over
Y.
Y, yeah.
No, I agree. And that's one of the things we like about the name Brand. Look, you might not just be throwing
I might
it
have
around,
a chance if you have an I.
but we think you're easy.
That's
hope you
all.
are. We're not saying you are. It's just when we hear the name, you're right. Like, oh, yeah, I can tap that.
Sure. It's like
terrible thing to say.
Like if you meet Ed and he's your accountant, you know, and you're like, all right, Ed, what did I do this year in my taxes? But if Eddie is your accountant, he's like, man, I can work some stuff.
Something illegal's happening.
Uh-oh.
I got a guy. Don't worry about it. Just don't ask questions.
It's just an Ed.
Right.
You know?
Eddie.
Eddie's probably going to get you a car that's going to give maybe about 5,000 more miles before it just absolutely dies.
I feel like this. I feel like Ed is a prosecutor. Eddie is a defense attorney.
I don't even know
I can
if
get you out of
Eddie
this,
makes
man.
that. Eddie's a bail bondsman.
Right. I didn't really pass the bar, man, but I know what I'm doing. Relax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like we used to, sometimes we'd go to Spokane. We'd drink at a bar, and it was literally called Fast Eddie's.
Oh, right.
It's not,
you know what you're walking
right,
into.
it's like, right, we're going to get light beers, probably shots out of a plastic cup, and hang out with college.
Could you be an Eddie for a weekend?
Now, when I did door-to-door sales, they were like, we'll call you Ed. A couple people called me Eddie or whatever. I hated it.
Why did they tell you?
It was so weird.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, my name's Steve. Well, I'm just working to call you Tracy. Like, well, it's not the name I go by, man.
Yeah, that job was just odd.
What was better about Ed versus Ted?
I don't know. I can't remember
That's
why.
why I said we're going to call you Teve.
He's like, whoa, you know what I mean? And the guy
In case you disappear in a hotel room someplace.
Yeah, and the guy was one of those, kind of, because those jobs are about, you got to hire more people. It's almost like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, basically.
But he was already through it, college football guy. Well, Ed's your real name. We'll go by Ed. Like, all right.
Okay.
Who or what was it that ruined your name? 206-421-ROCK.
Yeah, trying to get the money they ed me was tough, too.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I walked back in there, and the dude's literally, repping out crazy amounts of weights. Well, you're not coming back? Like, no, just give me my damn money.
Okay, Ed.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's Ted.
Right, it's Ted.
Hello, Brandon. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
What's up, guys? First time caller, long time listener.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
So, yeah, but growing up throughout elementary, I was the only Brandon in my school. And met one other Brandon when I went to junior high. And then just kept meeting more and more Brandons, thinking I had a unique name.
And now there's a chant.
I just kept meeting them. I work with two of them.
So, I know a couple. I know a few.
Are you the oldest? How old are you?
I'm 31. About to be 32 next month.
Okay, there's a lot of Brandons in your age.
Yeah, so I feel like you're in the Brandon range.
Sure.
It sucks.
Well, look, I spent the weekend with my uncle. He's a senior.
Okay.
So we played golf with other seniors. I played with a Tim. I played with a Jeff. I played with a Joe. I played with a Jim. I didn't play with a Hunter or an Austin.
Right.
Or a Carter or a Connor.
Or a Brandon.
I played with Tim, Jeff, Joe, Tom. And that just makes complete sense.
Yeah, you get the generations.
You're not going to name your son Bob right now. He might be Robert. He might be a lot of things that are long, but you're not. Most people don't do it.
I know. My buddy, we called his son, he goes by Robbie now. He's a Robert. Mm-hmm. But when he was 2 or 3, we called him Bob, and we just thought it was hilarious. But I do it. My friends have a daughter named Frances, right? But she's 3.5.
Okay.
I just call her Frank.
Frank.
That's cool.
Right. Yeah. Frank's going to be there. Frank, come on, Frank.
I did see a couple years ago, and the kid was about 3 years old, and he's running we're at the Baltimore waterfront. He's running toward the water. So they yell, Bob, back away from the water. And I mean, it just stunned me. I'm like, that little ass kid, you call him Bob?
Bob.
It's not Bobby. It's not Robbie. It's not Robert. It's not even Rob. It was Bob.
And if he gets in that water, he might be Bob in here in a minute.
Yeah, that's
who or what was it that ruined your name? 206-421-ROCK.
By the way, someone commented here, my fiance's name is Brandy. You sons of bitches.
I or Y, though?
He has an I.
Well, she's hot. You're marrying her.
Yeah, she's yours now.
But before you.
She's still easy. We're just saying. But she's your fiance. Hello, man, I guess where this one goes. Hello, Roscoe. Welcome to the men's room.
Roscoe.
Hola.
Hola.
Yeah, you can probably guess it. Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Uh-huh. A classic character, though.
Yeah, how many different Roscoes are there, though? There's like Roscoe P.
Not
Coltrane.
many.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you even met another Roscoe?
No, but I've met a couple dogs.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
What do you got, Roscoe? Do you got fried chicken or do you got chicken tenders? I can't remember. What's Roscoe's?
Chicken and waffles.
You got fried chicken.
Chicken
Roscoe.
and
They're
waffles.
famous for it, yeah.
All right.
Roscoe's chicken and waffles.
That's a positive.
All right. Can you name another famous Roscoe other than P. Coltrane and the restaurant?
Maybe
There's a rapper, Roscoe Dash.
Yeah, he had a couple hits.
All right. There you go. Did that help your game at all?
No.
Sorry, man. Yeah, that's a tough one, dude.
American character actor Roscoe Lee Brown.
All right, let me ask you this. So, is it weird to you, because you're right, the name Roscoe, it's not a real common name, but there are infinitely more dogs named Roscoe than there are people. Do you feel like you got cheated when you realized essentially your name is a name that other people use for pets?
It was definitely a while before I met another dog, but yeah, now it's a little weird.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Well, all the famous Roscoes are black.
The name's Roscoe.
Yeah.
If a guy named Roscoe is going to cook me food, again,
fried chicken.
It's chicken and waffles,
Yeah, exactly.
bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I trust,
get it. And there's a dog. It's weird
Roscoe.
because I know a family member named the kid Bailey, and then the first thing out of my mouth was, that's a dog's name, right? It's a dog's name.
I was thinking, yeah. I guess I just always think of Bailey as being a chick.
Well, she is.
Right, but I do picture a dog first. Because the fact, if you said, all right, here's the game, behind this curtain, dog or human, Roscoe. I'm guessing a dog, right?
Probably a bloodhound.
If you say Bailey, again, I'm probably guessing a dog. If you say Jeff, I'm going to guess a person. If you said Muffin, Muffin's behind,
Going a dog.
Right, but I knew
That'd be great if
Muffin.
the dog was Jeff, though.
I know.
Come here, Jeff.
What is weird? We were talking about this weekend, or this past weekend. Like, there's more dogs with human names.
Yeah.
We were saying, why doesn't it go the other way?
Not Jeff.
What do you mean?
Like, you never, like, it'd be weird if I was like, yeah, I'm dating a new girl. Her name's Lassie.
All right. Oh, jeez. I believe
Dude,
you.
if I ever get another dog, man, I'm going to name it after my buddy Jeff, and I'm going to call him and tell him, hey, man, I named my dog after you.
It's Jeff.
I swear to God, his name's Jeff. He's awesome. Who or what was it that ruined your name? 206-4200.
Well, I'll tell you this. Thrill ruined my dog's name.
How did I ruin your dog's name?
Because when I grew up, he was Tigger.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't until I started, you always made fun of it. And I'm like, as a kid, he was just, he bounces like Tigger.
I understand. I'm just saying you're on a slippery slope there.
But you just don't want to lose him and have to run out to your corner and scream his name in
your neighborhood.
What?
It's my dog,
Have
man.
you seen Tigger?
Yeah, he owes me 50. Oh, you mean your dog, man? Come on.
T.I. double girl.
Hello.
Tigger works in our company now.
So what?
He's a famous DJ. He's on BET.
Yeah. Hello, Michael. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
All right, so this one's a little weird. My own name ruined it. Got ruined for my dad. So back in 2012, I was deployed in Afghanistan, and around May, I got injured. And apparently on the same day, in the same zone in Afghanistan, another Michael Garcia also got injured. And we ended up going to the same recovery hospital they had at Kandahar Airfield. But his name is spelled Michael normally. My name's spelled Michael with a Y. So I'm not really sure how they mixed us up, but they ended up getting our files mixed up. So apparently this Michael Garcia, whatever happened to him, I never found out. He became brain dead. So he was unresponsive and, nothing. So they ended up calling my dad, giving him the information that his son was now brain dead and unresponsive.
God. Were you upset? Wow. Were you upset about how big of a party your family threw?
So, yeah, it was weird. And then because when I got injured, I was hit by an IED and I was out for 3 days. So for that whole 3 days, my dad was just thinking that his son was gone.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, is how long he's thinking that. How happy was he to hear from you?
So, yeah, I've only heard, my dad cry 3 times in my life was when I graduated from high school, I graduated from college, and I graduated obviously from basic training. So when I called him, when like the doctor that was treating me finally cleared me, was like, hey, you can make phone calls back home, let your folks know you're okay.
Oh, wait a minute. So
called my daddy.
Did you even know that he thought that? Did you know what they'd done? You know what I mean?
I had no idea. Like so like my brain was still, like rattled, like from the concussion of everything. And so like when I called and, he answered the phone and I was like, hey Dad, what's going on? And I just heard him like, his voice cracked, like when he said my name. And I just heard him like bawling. And I was like so confused. I was like, what's going on? And, he said a lot of, cuss words, which, I can't say on the radio, but he was like, do you know what these effers did? And like filled me in like half an hour of like what happened, what went on. And he's like, and this entire time I thought you were dead. And I was like, holy crap. And he goes, yeah, he goes, and now those other people's parents are going to get a phone call, and they're going to be like, oh,
right.
well,
Jesus.
you're like actually, like your son is, like we gave you the wrong son's information. Like that guy's okay, but your son is screwed.
Wow. Yeah, that was heavy.
Didn't even
duty.
think about the other side of that.
I figured your father would be like, man, I already sold your CD collection.
Yeah. I got $500 cash.
And the thing that was hard for me when I came back, like we came back in January of 2013, I was tracked down because he was military police. I was infantry. And so I was tracked down and I was given his Purple Heart certificate. And I looked at it and I go, hey, this isn't mine. This isn't my name. This isn't my unit. So what I did was I went to the unit. I, got in touch with the people that could give me his family's information. And when I went on leave, I actually went and delivered that Purple Heart certificate myself to that Michael Garcia.
Good on you, man.
That's awesome.
Wow. That is,
That's a crazy one. Who or what was it that ruined your name? 206-421-ROCK.